Hello everyone, Tommy Sharp here, and today I'm working on my big Masonic cemetery project here in Tipton, Missouri. I got a sad one for us. Pretty sad. This stone here belongs to Alice J. Pulley, and she was laying completely over. Her base was like this, so her stone had fallen. Somebody had restacked it once, and it was kind of like unbalanced real bad. So I decided to separate the stones, leveled the base, put some gravel under there so it won't happen again, and then epoxied the middle stone, and then got a dab of epoxy between this stone and the last name stone, and also we got Atlas preservation putty to set it on. So it's not stone against stone there. There's some plastic shims and some putty in there. Anyways, let's get to the fun part. So Alice here was born to John and Mary Thompson on October 6th of 1874. Growing up in a small community not too far from here, just north of Tipton, called Cotton, Missouri, which is in Cooper County, Missouri. She grew up with 6 sisters and 1 brother named Willie. By 1896, she had met Leslie Pulley, and they were married in 1896. By the 1900 census, these two had moved to the Kelly Township in Cooper County, same county, right down the road, and they had started their family, listed as farmers. No babies yet, though. Only 6 years later did tragedy strike. In a time that was supposed to be very special and something that they were probably trying for many years, Miss Pulley passed away in 1902. In her obituary, published in the Buxton Eagle. Buxton is another town in Cooper County, Missouri, which was at that time was bigger than Cotton or the Kelly Township, so they had their own newspaper. Anyways, she was in in that obituary stated that she passed away and left a 1-week-old baby and her husband behind. So that tells us almost certainly that she passed away from complications from the labor or the pregnancy itself. But story doesn't end there. As you can tell here, the stone is marble, and it's not too soft. It's not sugar in or nothing yet. But also, I'm not pressing very hard with my brush here, just trying to wipe off this surface lichen. That way that biocide that I put on here will have ability to get into the surface without having to fight the surface lichen first. Anyways, the story here, Mrs. Pulley here, Alice, she's buried in the Pulley plot with Leslie's mom and dad here. Leslie's dad passed away early on, and that's why this plot was established. And then her mom, Leslie's mom, didn't pass away for a long time after, I think in 1917. It's on the other side of the stone over there. But anyways, I'm sure when Leslie placed Alice here, he was planning on being placed beside her. But by the 1910 census, Leslie had moved to Hillsboro, Texas, probably running away from his past here, that he was uprooted when his wife passed away. him and Arthur moved to Hillsbury, Texas. Arthur was the name of the little baby that she left behind. And by the 1910 census, Leslie had remarried. But that's where Arthur's trail runs cold. I couldn't find him in any more census. Couldn't find a draft card for him for the World Wars. I couldn't find anything. Maybe you guys could. With a little help from you guys, we could figure out the mystery of what happened to Arthur, but I just couldn't figure out anything else. This stone has a little bit of a chip out of the back here. That's why it's a little wobbly, as you can see. But that epoxy, once it seals, hopefully it'll hold this to this stone a little better, so we don't have to worry about it falling off from the wind or anything later on. Anyways, let's give Alice here a spray down. If you're local to the area, I plan on furthering Alice's story a little bit, and I'll be publishing her as a Under the Stone article one of these months. Probably not next month. I have one already planned for next month. But if you don't know, my name's Tommy Sharp, and this passion started with me cleaning Civil War headstones. And now I've taken up a commitment to completely restore the Masonic cemetery here, at least these older stones anyways. I'll leave the newer people born after or buried after the 19th or the 20th century to their family to take care of for now. But these older stones that probably don't have anybody left to care for them, I'm going to go ahead and donate all my time and with donations from the community, and we're going to preserve these stones for the next 100 years at least. I'm hoping to have this done within the next year or two, but I'm not going to rush at all. This stone here took me probably 3 hours to get it back on its base and reset, which is okay. No problem at all. No problem at all. Give it a good wash up here. Spray down. Get all that lichen off that I scrubbed onto there. Scrubbed around on there anyways. Poor Alice. Left here to time by herself. Technically not by herself, but her husband's family was buried here. Pretty sad. Sorry about my moment of silence there. It just catches me off guard a little bit. Anyways, that's Alice's stone. Over the next month or two, any of them deep-rooted stains that are in this stone will come out from my biocide that I use, and it should look pretty nice. Thank you all for hearing about Miss Alice with me. Hope you all have a good one.